So walking lunges, or lunges in general, are not to be taken lightly. I'm freaking sore this morning. Sore, weak, just exhausted really. The walking lunges I used yesterday was 40 kilos, and I did basically 10 steps with each leg. I did 20 all up, each set. And yeah, man, the glutes, the side of the glutes, glute med, glute min, absolutely gets demolished. That's where I'm feeling most of it. I know some people feel it in the adductors and in the quads. I don't feel that, maybe because I do deep squats, and so my adductors are usually getting stretched and flexed and whatever. So yeah, this morning I had planned to do some front squats and then transition into back squats, which is what I did today. I'll show you some of the videos now. So I hit a top set of 140 on the front squat, and that itself is man, every time I do front squats, and I stopped doing front squats a while back because of the shoulder pain, too much external rotation, I think. Or my right shoulder started hurting, so I gave it up back then. But now I'm feeling good. But anyway, every time I do it, it just reminds me of how uncomfortable that damn movement is. There's so many things going on which are making you feel uncomfortable. For one, you're resting the barbell on your freaking collarbone. There's no padding on the collarbone. So it's like the most uncomfortable thing in the world. Not only that, but the bar wants to fold you forward. It just wants to crumble you forward because it's resting on the front of your body, and so you have to continuously flex your erectors to stay upright. And so those two things are by far the most uncomfortable things. And then there's also the wrist. My wrist has, I guess, gotten less flexible since I've stopped doing it. But yeah, and every time I do it, I'm like, man, this is an uncomfortable exercise. And so after this, I did some back squats. I basically did a set of 140, then a set of 160. I plan to do maybe 190 kilos today, but there's no way in hell it was going to happen. The bar was moving slow. I was feeling sluggish. The front squats have kind of, actually the walking lunges have ended me really. So today's going to be a light day. Just do that, and then that's basically tomorrow I'll come in and I'll see whether I'm going to do some more push-ups and pull-ups and some more lunges. I'm trying to think about doing this every other day, but it might be every third day, just to allow some more recovery, because I'm doing bodybuilder type of parameters now with limited rest and things of that nature, where I'm not kind of like powerlifting as such, where I'm taking 3 to 5 minute breaks. This is purely just exhaust the muscle, limit the recovery, get the pump. And so that type of training lends itself to kind of more rest if you want to progress. So I'll see what I'll do tomorrow. Maybe I'll definitely squat, but I'll see how far I push the lunges and the calisthenics side of things. But it just reminds me, this morning that's what I've been thinking about, how effective bodyweight exercises are. For some of us who are who've been lifting for a little while, I think we all go through stages, but man, if you don't do the basics, man, you're basically missing out. You think barbell exercises are better, but they're not. They're really not. They're as useful as bodyweight exercises. And so I tend to look at bodyweight exercises as the basics. You have to do them. It's your base building. That's where you are. If you can't do 100 push-ups, you're not going to be able to progress, I guess. Especially if you're of a smaller body weight. You should be able to knock out a lot of push-ups. That's what I'm thinking in the back of my head. I know C.T. Fletcher, you hear things in your life and some things stick to your brain for whatever reason. But I remember C.T. Fletcher saying that he could do 100 push-ups any time of the day. Like, it was just nothing to him. Now, he's a big dude. Like, for those of you that don't know who C.T. Fletcher is, he became really popular probably 5 years ago. He's this black fella who runs his mouth a lot, really fun to listen to. He was the curl champion back in his heyday, and I think he had the bench press record as well, I think, if I'm not mistaken. The guy's got like 24-inch arms, and like it looks like he's on steroids, although he's denied using steroids. But anyway, he's a really cool guy. Like, he motivates the hell out of everyone because he's running his mouth. He's saying F this, F that. But anyway, he's the one that said, push-ups are nothing. Like, I can do 100 like that. And so the guy was probably 120, 130 kilos, whatever, big dude. Here I am at freaking 90 kilos, 95 kilos, can't rep out, push-ups. Same with pull-ups, man. Like, you should be able to do all those exercises. The barbell exercises like bench press and squats and deadlifts, that should be kind of like extra stuff. That's if you want more out of your training. I feel like everyone should be doing some of those basics. Lunges is definitely one. Like, lunges, damn, man. I talked about it a bit yesterday. Lunges are basically kind of like box squats. The reason why I say that, it hits the glutes freaking hard. It hits the glutes freaking hard. And also, it kind of, at the bottom portion of the lunge, your knee is at 90 degrees or thereabouts. Kind of like a box squat. So, it's an incredible exercise. You're using one leg at a time, which probably carries, not probably, but definitely carries over more to life and the sporting field. Because when are we ever on 2 feet and, squatting? It's very rarely do we do that type of motion unless we're picking something off the ground. Most of the time, we spend most of our life on one leg, if you think about it. We're just walking or we're lunging. When you're in sport, basketball, so whatever the case might be, you're usually on one leg. So it carries over more. It brings a lot of balance into the hips. Your hips feel great. Like your hip flexors are being stretched. So it opens up your hips while you're strengthening up your hips. So lunges, pull-ups, push-ups, man, those 3 exercises I think I should be doing for the rest of my life. Regardless if I continue to do barbell exercises or not, that has to be the primary. That's literally what I feel right now. Because I know I'm not accustomed to lunges, and that's why I probably have this soreness. But if you're somebody who doesn't have any equipment at home, man, just look up on YouTube, man, or the net. You'll see guys absolutely freaking incredible, like much better bodies than what I have. Absolutely ripped, strong, purely out of calisthenics. If you've got a bar, you can buy those things you hook on the door. You got the gravity, you got the floor. You can do everything, man, absolutely everything. So I think it's underrated, especially for us who are kind of in the strength game. We think, you need to do like 1 or 2 or 3 reps or whatever. Which is all well and good if you want to specialize your strength into, doing 1 rep maxes and stuff. But the base building, I think, should be mostly done through bodyweight exercises. Unless you are like super advanced, you can do like 200 push-ups of, well, that's too many reps, right? Like that's incredible. But anyway, I think muscular endurance has a place even in the strength game. So yeah, anyway, lunges, man, absolutely destroyed. I'll see if I can do some more tomorrow. I'm thinking about kind of periodizing them in such a way where I have a heavy day and a light day. So, yesterday I did 40 kilos. I'm going to call that a heavy day. I mean, I'm not going to be loading it up to 80 kilos and do a 1 rep max with a lunge. Not at this stage anyway. I feel like I'm going to snap something because I'm not comfortable yet in that position. So I might do tomorrow like an extended kind of lunge session, body weight, where I do maybe 50 steps or something like that. But yeah, I'll see how I go. But anyway, get your lunges in, man. If you're somebody at home, like I said, lunges, push-ups, pull-ups, you don't have to do stupid numbers. That's where this start should be. I feel like you shouldn't even be going to the gym if you can't do 20, 30 push-ups, and if you can't do 5 pull-ups, and if you can't lunge. What are you gonna do in the gym? You shouldn't be squatting, you shouldn't be deadlifting, you shouldn't be anything. It's kind of like basic strength. So, and also those exercises also check your body weight as well. Because if you can't do a pull-up, it might be because you're too heavy. So it's also got a good feedback mechanism, because to advance in a pull-up, you need to get stronger, but also it's beneficial to be lighter. Anyway, all right, catch you guys tomorrow.